For those who didn't see the direct today, a new Pokemon was introduced, and it's Farigiraf. I think that's how you say it. I don't know about you guys, I'm personally very excited. It is the evolution of Girafarig from Gen 2. And Farigiraf, personally I like it. I like that they finally made Girafarig, the giraffe Pokemon, like, actually pretty tall. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we're here to talk about how good will Farigiraf be in competitive. Now, I'll be honest, I think everyone can agree that Girafarig is pretty forgettable, even if I do like it. But to be honest, it's not even that bad in like some cases. For example, it's like in rarely used and like National Dex Anything Goes, but I guess that doesn't really say much. However, I will say, if you're playing like Soul Silver Nuzlocke, Girafarig is not that bad of a Pokemon. It is obviously not the best thing you can find, but the base stats were usually enough to get it done. But I think that Farigiraf does have potential. I don't think it'll be good enough to like break the meta, but I do think that there's a lot of things that they have going for it. What type we're looking at, it's typing. So normal Psychic. It might not seem like the best thing in the world, but personally I think it's a lot better than you might think. If you look at the type defensively, we will see that it loses Psychic loses its weakness to Ghost, now having an immunity, and we also see that Normal loses its weakness to Fighting and becomes neutral. You're still weak to Bug and Dark, but I'll talk about why that isn't the worst thing in the world, like as we go on more. Offensively, it doesn't look like much, but it technically does help you. For example, let's say it's just pure Psychic. Now you all of a sudden you can't really hit Psychic types because they're like Psychic resist Psychic, and if it's just normal, like you're not able to hit Rock anymore. But now we don't have any more like super effective hits. It's still just Fighting and Poison. However, now the only type that resists is Steel, and that's gonna be pretty easy to work around as we go on more with the video. Not the best thing in the world, but I do think it's pretty underrated. I just think the normal typing is underrated in general. Now, let's go on to its abilities, because that's where things become really interesting. So first up, Chuchu. Chuchu is a new ability appearing in the first 7 of these titles, and basically, whenever you eat a berry, at the end of the next turn, it will like eat that berry again. Not sure how that works in lore, but let's go with it. So personally, I think the ability is okay. It won't be as good as the next one we go after, but I do think there are some pretty good uses. I think for stall teams and recycle teams, this can be pretty helpful. And also, I believe that, personally, I think this ability will see more use in doubles, but go more into that later. But depending on how bulky they make it, I could see this being pretty okay, and that's like the best way I can describe it. But compared to all the other Pokemon that have like just like garbage abilities, this is far from the worst. But as for its other ability, Armor Tail, this is where things get really interesting, because it basically makes the opposing Pokemon unable to use priority moves. So it's just like that one Gen 7 Pokemon, what's it, a Bruxish? I forget what its ability is called, but it's also one that makes them immune to priority moves. And ironically, it's also Psychic type. But I think this could be a lot better on Farigiraf. And also, it's just better like defensively. But going back to the type calculator, obviously, defensively, you're weak to Dark. But now you're going to have an immunity to, what's it called, a Sucker Punch. And not only that, but like Psychics usually are weak to Shadow Sneak. And while you're immune to it, even if you didn't have the normal type, you still don't have to worry about Shadow Sneak either. And not having to worry about priority moves can go a long way. And also, some other priority moves like Bullet Punch, Extreme Speed, stuff that every regular encounter, Farigiraf just doesn't have to worry about. I'm assuming it'll probably have more special defense, and most of the good priority moves are physical. Or actually, I think all of them might be. I know Vacuum Wave's like a special one priority. But other than that, I think pretty much all of the priority moves I can think about are physical. See, that's a huge deal. They might be thinking, well, what about like Tapu Lele and being able to like, like have like the psychic terrain? Doesn't that like invalidate it? In some ways, yeah. Admittedly, like Tapu Lele will probably be better in just like all scenarios. However, I suspect that Tapu Lele is gonna be like in Scarlet and Violet at the beginning. So at the very least, like for the first like few like months, like Farigiraf won't worry about that. But even then, like I think Farigiraf will be better as like a single just trying to set up. So I think with Farigiraf's typing, it'll mostly be like a nasty plot setter. And I don't know if this thing will be good in doubles, maybe not. But if it does, this is actually where I think Chuchu will come in more useful, because I feel like since like there's not as much switching around with doubles, I feel like it'll be a lot easier to like just like manage like, your berries and just be able to like guarantee you'll be able to survive to the end of that next turn, being able to have like your second citrus berry or whatever strategy you try to use. So personally, I don't think it's the worst. And like I said, offensively, I don't think it's that bad. And while this is only with stab, however, when we actually go to like the different moves, like its coverage is a lot better than you might think. So like going back to or not going back, I mean like really going back and showing so far. But Girafarig, like its coverage is better than I would say most people think. It's like other than like Psychic and Hyper Voice, Calm Mind, Nasty Plot. It has like Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, Foul Play, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave. And it's, when you look at like normal Girafarig stats, it's definitely not the best thing. It is honestly kind of, well, in a word, mid. However, it's still it's still enough to where if you like technically like makes attacker, it's technically one, like it's like physical attack goes only like 10 less than a special. And I'm assuming Farigiraf will like get a big boost in both stats. Even if you want to use like Double Edge or Earthquake, that can still work as well. But mostly thinking about like Dazzling Gleam, and this is wearing any. Okay, I don't think it learns any like good fire moves yet. But even then, like Nasty Plot, Psychic, Nasty Plot, Psychic, Hyper Voice, Dazzling Gleam, that could be a good combination of moves you can use. However, we forget that this is Gen 9, and they're gonna have the Terrestrialize ability, yeah. I think that's how you say it. Where you basically can, I don't know if it's any type in the game you can turn into, or if each Pokemon has like its own special one. But like, assuming it's like, where it's like, you could just be any type, they can pretty much give Farigiraf like the exact like coverage it needs. For example, let's say it gets fire, that immediately gives it the ability to take on, like bug types and steel types, so they won't be able to resist anymore. And in that case, you can just like either get rid of like Psychic or Hyper Voice. More likely Psychic. But if that's the case, just like Nasty Plot, Psychic, what's this use? Hidden Power, Fire, and a Dazzling Gleam. Like this I don't think it would be that bad. And like I'm assuming its base set will be something like Linoon and Obstagoon. So like Linoon, Linoon was like base like 420, and then Obstagoon, yeah, 520. So that's like a 100 base set total. And let's see like what stats actually buffed. So let's see here. So Linoon had like 70 attack, 50 special attack, 100 speed. So like, yeah, kind of garbage. Then Obstagoon got, so let's see here. Yeah, so I got an extra 20 in attack, an extra 10 in special attack. It lost speed, which is kind of interesting, but mostly like it got like a really good buff. I believe Girafarig is 455. So if it got a 100 boost, like 100 or 555, that's pretty decent. And let's see here. let's look at some others. Like Electabuzz, 490, and then Electivire 540. It got a big boost in attack. Special attack stayed the same. And another one that lost speed. What the heck? Is that super common? I don't know. But yeah, I don't think I have much else to say. I personally really like Girafarig, and I think that Farigiraf is a lot better than people are gonna give credit for. I don't think it'll be good overnight. I think it's gonna take like someone really good to like order to make it work. But I do think that like especially with like terrestrializing, that there's gonna be a lot of different options you can do. Especially if you could just like become any type. But even if it's just like one, and let's say it's like a random type, like let's say randomly just becomes like let's say grass. Like that can still be pretty good in some cases. But anyways, I think that's like all I have to say for Farigiraf. Like I don't really know what I'm planning on using for my team, like the full team. However, I will say now that Farigiraf is so far the only Pokemon that is for sure going to be in my team, and I'm going to try my best to make sure that it's very good. I don't have anything else to say. Yeah. This is the bad way to end the video. Like and subscribe if like you like hearing me talking about stuff that I'm not very knowledgeable on. Until then, this is Crownback, and I look forward to hearing from you.